So I finally got the chance to watch The Whale and I loved it. It made me cry so much. I bawled my eyes out. And it made me think about a lot of things in my own life. It made me think about the aspect of addiction and how it leads to the ultimate self destruction. It just brought a lot of things to play. And yeah, I think let's try and break it down here and there and see what it's all about. So let's get into it. The Whale stars are Brendan Fraser, and the synopsis or the summary I'd give the film is the aspect of human experience. The human experience is one of the most weirdest, complicated, yet beautiful experience you can ever have. No matter what you're going through, life in its mess is also very beautiful, sad, complicated, destructive, creative. It's all these things that at times we are not or are not able to explain it until we see it from our rear view mirror. I feel I don't know if I'm being too philosophical. We get a chance to see Charlie live this human experience, this very human, imperfect experience where he ends up making certain decisions that don't end up favoring him in the end. He ends up losing his family, he gets out of touch with his daughter, the person he loved died, and this is where we get him. We get him dealing with all that. And the way he deals with it is through his addiction to food, which ultimately leads him to the condition that we currently meet him at, where he's morbidly obese, struggling, as in he's basically living his final days. And we get to see that unfold as the story goes. I don't know if it's his ultimate realization where he comes face to face with the aspect that yes, he's going to die very soon. He tries to make amends for all that has happened, and we see him try to do that by reconnecting with his daughter, which is not easy. You know, sometimes we see this, we picture reconnections with the people that we lost touch with, people we used to love, as being this magical experience, but it's not. It's messy. It's hard. It's difficult. There's so much pain and resentment in trying to make it up to her, and it's quite a roller coaster. Seeing this father-daughter interaction is really sort of brings you to your knees, because Charlie in this case is coming from a point of pain, but of just regret. His pain comes from regret, while his daughter Ellie, who's played by CD Sink, is coming from a point of pain, but that pain comes from the aspect of not understanding why the father had to abandon her so that he could pursue this other aspect of love in his life. She felt abandoned, she felt unloved, she felt all these things, which is justifiable because she was only 8 when the father left. And that's the performance between the two of them. I really loved it. I really enjoyed it, even though it was a bit painful to watch. I remember when I talked about the aspect of life being messy. Life is a hot mess. And it becomes even messier when we allow the aspects of addiction get to us. Addiction is not only drugs and alcohol, things that we've been told should be the blueprint of addiction. They are very real, but they're not the only kinds of addiction. You can be addicted to so many things. You can be addicted to food. You can be addicted to the aspect of consuming a lot of media. And I think that is what a lot of people right now, from the millennials and Gen Zs, are addicted to consuming a lot of media. But what happens when we allow these addictions to take root? When you allow your addictions to take over, you get immersed into this cycle of self-destruction. You literally destroy yourself from the inside. And it's never that pretty. And we see Charlie allow his addiction to kill him. And we meet him at a point of surrender where he's accepted where he's at. He's accepted his condition and he just wants to make things right. Before he leaves, he wants to ensure that he at least did one thing right with his life. And I think that's very powerful if you ask me. And I'm not in any way endorsing addiction, no way. I'm just acknowledging the fact that he realized where he was at in life, and I think he was too far gone, or he had already surrendered. You know, I usually say that it's never too late to fix something, but in his mind, he had already surrendered to his fate. And yeah, and I think this film just shows us what addiction does. Life is messy, yes, but we can make something out of that mess. We can either make something out of it or let that mess consume you. And that is what we see here. There's no happy ending. We just look at how or what would happen if we allowed this mess to consume us. And I think Charlie brought that out perfectly. If you haven't watched The Whale, I think you can make a point of watching it, but at least make sure you're in the right mind space. There are films that I usually tell people, if you're not in the right headspace, don't watch it. This one, if you're not, don't. But it's a really good film because it just helps you realize that. For me, it brought me to the realization that life is a gift. However messy it is, it's a gift, and it's up to me to show up and try to make something out of that mess. However messy it is, at times you don't see beyond your mess, but try fighting through it. You'll find the light. You have that light within you. That is what keeps you going. That light will help you eventually find that big light that you're looking for. But other than that, this film just emphasized on the fact that don't let your addictions, don't let the things that bring out the bad behaviors just take control. You have to keep them on a leash. You have to do something for you not to allow them to take over and just put you on that path of self-destruction. Either way, I really recommend The Whale. If you're in the right headspace, go watch it. I bawled my eyes out. I cried a lot watching it, but it was definitely worth the wait. And you go watch it. Tell me what you think about it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.